Well, I mean, you have to say this, number one, it's amazing for all the time that it can take the VA to get somebody an appointment. They were able to get those pictures down in the matter of a couple of hours. That to me is just staggering. But why the reluctance? It's beyond me why there's the reluctance to do this. You have veterans out there that are proud of their new commander in chief, or if nothing else, simply want to see the correct protocol there, which is the portrait of the commander in chief and the secretary of the VA in the entrance of these facilities. And the VA took something that was an amazing positive, getting these pictures hung, getting the right thing done, and turned it into a major negative by going behind the back of all of these veterans that were so proud that something good happened and taking the photos down. I think it's a travesty.
Now, you're a veteran yourself. Have you ever seen anything like this before?
No, absolutely not. And what really brought my attention to this is the messages that we were getting in my office from veterans saying they had in the weeks prior spoken to people at the VA saying, when are the photos going to be up? When is the picture of the president going to go in this hall or that hall? And some of the nasty responses that they were getting about, well, it could take them up to 9 months, or and I don't even like to repeat some of these things because I don't think they're worth it, but different people on staff saying, well, he's not their president, or other very negative things coming from staff at the VA. That's what ultimately brought it to the forefront for me to say, okay, I'm going to get some qualities or some quality photos off the official White House website and the official VA website. We're going to get them printed off in high glossy, the way they're supposed to be, in the appropriate size, and we're going to get them hugged there. And that's what we did.
I looked at them. I could recognize who those individuals were. I'm trying to understand, and again, I don't want to sound like I'm being disrespectful by in any means, but when they're saying authenticate them, is there like a process to doing this that they just can't take somebody's word for that? And then why would they allow you to hang them and then take them down without your knowledge a day later? That's what I'm trying to understand.
I'm certain there is a process that they could go through to authenticate these photos. One of the processes they could do is to simply go to whitehouse.gov or to go to the VA's, va.gov and look at the photos, because that's directly where they're taken from. So that would be one of the ways that they could authenticate the photos. It'd be pretty simple. But in the end, you're talking about, are you going to have a blank space here, or you're going to have, clearly an authorized photo of the president and the secretary of the VA hung where it's supposed to be hung, and really alleviating a lot of the angst of veterans that weren't seeing that there week after week after week? Or are you going to cause a greater angst in these veterans by going behind their back and taking these photos down now and saying, no, we don't want to be responsive to those issues that you care about, so we're going to take these photos down? And that's the problem. The VA across the board is not responsive to the needs of veterans.
Well, and that's the thing I want to ask you. First off, I want to understand, why they were so willing to hang up those images when you stepped in there with other vets surrounding you that were in support of your actions, and then quietly remove them without your knowledge. That's question number one. And number two, as a vet, as someone who speaks to other vets, why having these images up? Why is that so important to them?
Well, it's important to have these images up. This is the commander-in-chief of the entire United States military. This is the top dog. This is who the military answers to. This is something that we're used to seeing across every federal agency, every federal building, is the portrait of the commander-in-chief up there. And to be quite frank about it, the veterans that I had the opportunity to serve alongside, and those veterans that joined me at the VA that day, or those that were just passing through across the board, who came from different political backgrounds, were excited to see the right thing happen. They were excited to see the portrait of the president hung up in the VA, because that's where it belongs, and it was clearly an appropriate photo. Now, beyond that, to say why they're going to go behind the back of veterans to take it down, when
that's
clearly
what it
this
seems
is a
like.
win.
I mean, am I wrong? I mean, they put it up when you were there, and then they quietly took them down. I'm just
Absolutely.